I was working for a private school in London, and when I got the job, I thought I'd made it, right? And after tax, I was taking home less than £2,000.
What was mind-blowing is building a brand, like a brand that I built from scratch and now it's printed on a product that people are actually using. That for me was like unlocked so many things in my head.
I had a long-term mindset where I wasn't trying to make profit at the beginning.
And you were focused on the growth.
Anything worth doing will be hard, and I've come to enjoy the hard.
Yeah.
Because I know that most people won't be willing to navigate through that hard. They are only hard the first time you do them until it becomes easy. The moment on the top of the podium is only a moment. The process, that's usually a lot more exciting and fulfilling. All right, guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Now, this is going to be an episode which is slightly different because I have my good friend, my partner in crime, my wife, my soulmate right here before me. Sada, how are you? All right?
I'm good, thank you very much. This is a very exceptional episode, and hopefully, inshallah, it will be one of many where we do digital brand builders by Sarah and Jamal, and we'll talk about everything from starting to scaling to exiting e-commerce businesses. So let's start.
Yeah, so the whole idea or the gist of this episode is Sarah's going to be asking me some questions.
Yeah.
These are burning questions that we get asked all the time. So we're just going to spitball, talk about them in a very, very open and transparent way. So over to you, Sarah.
Okay. So a lot of people, I say a lot, but some people know about our story, being a teacher, then coming into e-commerce and alhamdulillah, getting some success and so on and so forth. Can you just tell everybody how did all of this started? Like go all the way back from our times in, when we got that offer letter in Qatar from the school.
Okay, so if we're going all the way back there, that's quite a journey. So I was working for a private school in London, and it was one of the best schools in the whole of the UK. And I was very, very, very happy to have got that job because I remember how competitive it was. There were like 6 rounds of interviews, very, very intense.
I remember.
and when I got the job, I thought I'd made it, right?
Yeah.
And then only to realize that things were really tough in the UK, and I was still living with my mom at the time.
And I was studying.
And you were studying. You were studying. And we just had Zaid, our eldest, and I was earning about £28,000 a year, and after tax I was taking home less than £2,000, and with all of the expenses of childcare, because you were at uni, as you said, at the end of the month I was scrambling. Every single month I was scrambling. Literally, there were some months where I'm like I'm out. And there was like a week or 2 left before payday. SubhanAllah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Anyway, so when we applied to that school in Qatar, and we got the job offer, and we both got a job offer.
Yeah.
At the school.
And I was pregnant with our second. It's crazy.
You were pregnant with our second.
Yeah.
When we got that offer and we both got it, we thought, khalas, we're set now. Remember?
Yeah.
And it was a big moment for us to secure a job abroad, both of us to be earning more than I was earning in the UK, plus all of the perks you get by working for an international school there. So that's, again, when I got the job at the private school in the UK, I thought we made it.
Yeah.
And only to realize that we hadn't. And then when I got the job in Qatar, I thought we made it. And there was definitely an upgrade in our earnings, our lifestyle, because we were now both earning.
We started saving for the first time.
But we still had debts, I remember.
Yeah, we did the debts first, and then we started saving.
For the first time in our lives, we started a pot, I remember. and and I am someone who always is always wanting to do more than just the the bare minimum. I remember even at Chigwell when I was working there, I was watching all these good to outstanding videos.
Yeah.
Remember?
That was our weekend.
Yeah, I was literally immersing myself
Yeah.
in how to improve my teaching craft. Every month I'd buy a new teaching book.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do more and be the best at what I'm doing. I didn't want my job just to be a way to earn. And even when we got to the school in Qatar, I think the first month or two we were acclimatizing, and then straight away I'm like, oh cool, how can I do more? And I remember I wanted to be the gift. Well, what's it called? The
Gifted and talented.
gift. Remember?
Yeah.
And then I
G&T.
exactly, and I put together a big plan because the school didn't have such. And
G&T.
so I'm like, you know what? I want to be that person, and I always wanted to do more, and then I got turned away. I remember, and I had this great plan, and I spoke to the education manager at the time. But anyway, so I wanted to do more, and there were all these small things where I was trying to do more, trying to make a name for myself, trying to contribute. It wasn't even about any financial gain.
Yeah, because even the G&T wasn't even going to
No,
add your...
it was because that's who I am. I want to do more.
Yeah.
And I want to do the most I can do for the organization I'm working for.
Yeah.
But there were a number of small things that kind of just were a kick in the teeth throughout the entire experience, right? And that was one of them where the G&T was... They did ultimately start at the school, and it was given to someone whose name I won't mention, but it begins with F. But in any case, that, and then I applied for the head of Key Stage 3 maths, and then I got turned away, and just more stuff. And then I'm like, you know what, screw this. That's when I kind of got a little bit disenfranchised, I would say. And I said, you know what, screw this.
Trying to find something outside.
Yeah, I'm going to do something outside. And I tried doing tuition, and then I went through a period where I was doing the tuition rounds a lot.
Coming back home at 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, and because it was a way to earn more. But then I realized that if I wasn't doing the tuition, I wasn't getting paid. So the money was good. It was about £50 an hour, which was good. But I was only getting paid when I worked.
Yeah.
And there's a limit to the number of hours you can work. So I didn't like that because I had to be away from you and the family in order to earn. So I'm like, is there a way I can earn something where I'm not trading 1 hour for 1 hourly rate? So that's how I started becoming a little bit entrepreneurial and looking for opportunities.
Yeah. So it went from starting at Chigwell, we made it, realizing we didn't, then moving to Qatar, alhamdulillah, we made it, then realizing actually in so many levels we didn't. And then after that, what happened?
And then I was aware of Amazon FBA e-commerce, but it was always some kind of distant thing. Like, okay, you know what?
They do it. I can't.
They do it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's on the internet. Is it even real? Is it legit? Super skeptical. And then I think people are more skeptical these days, and they have to be because of all of these fake opportunities. But it always did interest me because it was something that made sense. You're getting a physical product and you're selling it.
Yeah.
By leveraging Amazon's resources.
Yeah.
So it was a great little, like it made sense to me, but still it wasn't tangible until my friend.
Yeah.
Until my friend who I knew personally had started, and he showed me his results, and that's when I'm like, you know what?
It's doable.
It's doable. But even then, I was too busy at school with this whole school thing. So I'm like, you know what? So that's when when the seed was planted, but it took many more months afterwards. And for the summer break during school, because I remember we all went to Kuwait to see your family, and then I came back home 2 weeks early
Just to start this, to see what's going
I'm
on.
like, you know what? I told the starter, give me 2 weeks. I want to be by myself. I want to throw myself into this.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of just boom.
Yeah. For me, what was mind blowing, the entire business model is simple. Get stuff from China, sell it for a markup, you know, and profit like that. But what was mind blowing is building a brand. Like a brand that I built from scratch and now it's printed on a product that people are actually using. That for me was like unlocked so many things in my head that this is possible. We can do it. People are doing it. This is how brands are made, because we think about these massive brands as if they just were there all the time. But they went through, you know, time where the brands were being built, all these things.
Yeah, because I had that same light bulb moment in the beginning where when I got a sample with my logo on it, and it was like, what? This is actually.
This is the logo we were working on.
I've been doing it for so long now. It's not a big. It's not a big deal anymore. It's just easy. Just boom.
Yeah,
but you're right. And you know, all of these big brands like Nike, I know their story. I read the guy's book, Shoe Dog, and the way they came up with the Nike logo and the Nike name, and it was all very haphazard. And now look at Nike, right?
Yeah, for me, it was also like, is this something that Jamal is doing in the background? Is it going to work? Probably not. But he looks happy doing it and content. Let him do it. But do you remember when we made $500, the first $500 day? And I'm like, we made $500.
Yeah.
Only today.
And that was in sales. It wasn't even in profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane. I remember because I calculated our profit. And our profit was actually about $50, I remember. And then I remember calculating, okay, $50 monthly is $1,500. I'm like, oh my God, like that's an additional $1,500 in my pocket on top of my salary. I felt like the world's richest man. Wallahi, it was like,
yes,
it was, yeah, because I'm like, I'm able to earn that amount because it was great because I was able to earn that wide because I was still doing tuition at the time.
Yeah.
So I remember there were days where I was tutoring and I was checking my sales, and then I'm like, I'm earning on two fronts at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's when it was a very slow, gradual process, but that's when it started to unlock things in my mind where there's so much money to be made out there.
Yeah.
It's there for you to go and grab it. Like the world has enough money to make everyone extremely wealthy, but those that do end up making wealth are the ones who go out and get what's theirs.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not theirs own. It's theirs for whoever wants it.
Yeah.
Who's willing to go and grab it.
Yeah.
And I think that was a small mindset shift where, Jamal, like, you made a bit of money. What if you work a bit harder and longer, or you try this? You could be making a lot more money. So there's no upside. There's no cap to the upside.
Now you've been working on this, doing the teaching job. I was teaching, and things were getting, the sales were, but we were not using the money from the brand, right? What do you think, or what do you think, or what do you know now, made that brand a success? Okay, to the point where you were able to exit it for a good amount of money. As
you said, we weren't using the money, and alhamdulillah, we didn't need it. So even though I was making a bit of money, I didn't take out a single penny. I remember the first time I actually used money from the business was to buy the MacBook and the MacBook Pro in 2017.
Yeah, and there's one year I will never forget this. The very first brand, something branded that we get to buy. Remember, we flew.
What was that?
It was a December. It was at the end of the year where you tally everything and then you decide, I'm going to take this amount for us to celebrate.
And
Remember?
then,
And then we got the Gucci watch from Kuwait in Avenues. My very first brand.
Did I buy you that?
Yeah, we bought it from Dryden. It was like at the end of year, we made money.
Okay.
So we celebrated by.
Okay.
So we went to. I
Oh.
remember I bought a Burberry bag and a watch, and to this day, these two things I will never ever like give to anybody. Or
I forgot about that because I remember when we were in Villaggio Mall in Qatar, and we got the LV bag because we got you the LV bag because I made in profit in a single day what was a bit more than the price of the LV bag. So I'm like, it's only a day's profit. Boom.
Yeah. But the thing is, alhamdulillah, like we're like thinking about these things, or being happy with an LV bag. And now, alhamdulillah, I don't even try to go buy designer bags now because, it's just...
You don't have that itch anymore.
I don't have that itch anymore.
No.
But alhamdulillah, so we celebrated actually. We didn't take a lot of money to live off, but we celebrated at the end of every year. I remember.
Yeah.
After the Christmas crazy. So what made your first brand a successful brand?
The fact that I didn't take money out and I kept on reinvesting it to launch new variations, new colors, new products, and
key moments.
I remember my initial packaging was very basic, and my logo was made on Word using Word art at the time, and I literally just cooked it up myself. And then I invested in premium packaging. I learned a lot about PPC, Amazon pay-per-click. I had a long-term mindset where I wasn't trying to make profit in the beginning, and I knew that Amazon is a reviews game where you got to collect as many reviews as possible. So I made my price low to the point where it was painful, but that gave me that initial traction, that momentum I needed, and it paid off because I was able to collect more reviews than my competitors, and then slowly then I started to raise my price. But yeah, just reinvesting the money to launch new variations, going more aggressively in PPC, learning about PPC, launching new products. And then I was able, then within a few months, I remember I had not only one product, I had 2 or 3 products, and each product had a few variations.
Yeah. One variation I remember you spoke about that made the difference. Do you remember?
Yeah, which one?
The pink pen.
Yeah.
That
I remember that.
That was a hit.
I remember that because that was that the guy Sultan who I met during Hajj, he looked at my listings and he said, you should launch variations for ladies, pink and stuff. And I didn't understand it, but if someone who's doing better than you tells you to do something, just do it.
Just do it.
Don't
ask questions.
And I see that in my students actually. The best students are the ones who are critically minded, who do think for themselves, but they know that, hey, you know what? If Jamal tells me to do something, I'm going to bloody do it. Do it.
Yeah.
There are some who even after investing in the mentorship kind of say, nah, I'll do it my own way. And that's fine. And sometimes that works because there isn't a single best way all the time.
Yeah.
But the ones who end up doing really well are the ones who say,
But the whole point of the mentorship or a mentorship, having a mentor, a coach or whatever, is to decrease that risk, right? Because if you do it yourself, of course, there's a chance that you will make it. But you bring on a team or a coach or a mentor to increase your chances, right? Essentially. For me, the 2 key points or the 2 key moments that I think were very important in our first brand's, success were one, when you had hired a manager to manage all of the customer service, all of these little like all of the
Green.
VAs.
Was it a green?
I don't remember the name, but
Was it the guy from South Africa?
yes. No, there was one before him or after him. Anyhow, that
Okay.
person meant that you were not focused on the day-to-day little things, and you were focused on the growth, right? And all of these day-to-day check-ins and making sure that people are, the tracking, the customer service, all of that, refunds, whatever, all of that is sorted by the team, and the team are doing it as clockworks, and you just meet with one person rather than managing so many people. And that, I think, allowed you to think about how to now take this brand to the next level. That's one key moment, in my opinion. And the second one is going to China, your first China trip.
Yeah. How do you think China helped me?
Meeting your suppliers, getting better rates, unlocking is weird, guys, in my opinion, is sometimes just meeting people, seeing how the product was actually made. That allowed you to make it better, change, I think, the weight of the lid was changed so that it's easy on the hand, whatever, like all these little things that you was able to do to make the customer experience better, because all everything is working as clockwork. You've got people are doing things on the ground, and you were able to actually fly out, sit with the suppliers, look at new colors, new whatever, do your negotiate your terms for your bottom line. All these things, I think, contributed in a massive way to eventually, after 3 years, exit.
I agree with you. And because I remember even when I was, because it took me 2 years of working on the business while working full time to finally leave. So
yeah.
Why? Why are you smiling?
No, because I still remember, and I think we're saying a lot of I remember in this podcast. But
by the way,
bear with us.
This is completely unscripted.
The time when you came and you said to me, Sarah, I'm going to quit school. And at the start, I was like, what? Security? Paycheck? Are you crazy? No, don't do that. But then that as well was a key moment for the success.
That was key.
Yeah.
That was absolutely key. And you weren't totally on board.
No, it took me time to come around.
Because you were like, you're already making money with this. Because at the time, I was matching my salary.
Yeah.
And you said you're matching your salary while working full time. You don't have to leave your job. Yeah. You can keep your job and keep on doing it. And that makes logical sense.
It made logical sense. And also, for me, it was the security of a paycheck, right? That was very important. But then a couple of months later, we sat down and we talked about it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do this.
Yeah, but even then, it wasn't like a light bulb moment. There was always this unknown risk. What if it tanks as soon as I leave? What if this or that?
Yeah.
And I think I was very fortunate that you were still working.
Alhamdulillah.
If everything fell on me immediately, then I wouldn't have had the long-term mindset of keep on reinvesting, and I knew that we were covered even if things didn't work out straight away.
Yeah. Everything basics, everything.
Yeah, and so if someone, I know people love the idea of going full-time entrepreneurship, and there is certainly a lot of appeal to it, but there's also a lot of uncertainty. So unless you've got a massive amount of savings to fall back on, or you have a really long-term mindset, or you already have significant traction with your business of a consistent 3 to 6 month earnings, just keep your job in the meantime.
Yeah. So now, alhamdulillah, you've been working 3 years and you were able to exit.
Yeah.
Right? What happened next?
I remember when we finally sold, it was a very long process, but when we finally sold, And I remember when the last wire landed, I was telling someone else this in Colombia last week, that I was looking after Millie, Rosie,
That's cool.
Rosie, our nanny, had to go to the Filipino embassy or something. So I was with Millie, and I was sat there, and she was playing with some toys or Lego, and I would just sit on the chair looking at her and on my phone doing whatever. And then the SMS came that the wire landed. It got released from the escrow, and there were 7 figures in my account, and I'd never seen such a number in my anyway. And it was it sounds like a very exciting moment, and it was more of a strange moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's this? Like,
Yeah.
Is it really mine? Did I make a mistake? and then I took a screenshot of it, and then I sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Yeah. And I knew it's real, but you'd expect jumping around and being so happy and celebrating, but it took time to hit.
No, yeah, but
It took time
what
to
do
hit.
you?
We literally, it was a normal day. It was a normal day.
That's the thing. I thought as soon as you see that money in your bank account, there'll be some fireworks in the background, some birds chirping, some
Yeah.
there'll be
Like I'll go
dolphins.
to I'll open the door and my what are they called, head line manager, and say, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
No.
But you kind of think there's gonna be this pinnacle moment, but when you really think about it, the moment on the top of the podium is only a moment.
So true.
And you might hold up the trophy or whatever for a few seconds, but it's what leads up to that. That's the process. That's usually a lot more exciting and fulfilling. And while it was a nice moment to celebrate, it was also a little bit bittersweet, because I enjoy the building part more than the exit part. And I think that's what we're talking about now, because we're in the process of exiting our third one. And we have a good offer on the table, but I know what's to come after that. That is, okay, I'm no longer building.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why I'm a bit reluctant to see it through, because yes, the exit is always nice. This exit won't be as impactful
As the first.
as the first one, because the first
Or
one,
the second
our
one.
entire net worth was in the business.
Yeah.
We had virtually nothing. We threw everything at it. So to get that windfall of cash gave us some breathing room, right?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
But at the same time, so now I'm like, it's going to be nice, but I love what I'm doing.
And obviously I come from, I'm not emotionally attached to our current, the brand. So I come from numbers. I think I look at the data and I'm like, this is going to mean X, Y, Z for us, for our other business or whatever.
Yeah.
But one thing I would say from what you said is that the event of selling is only one event, as you said, is one event, but the journey of building the brand and the ups and the downs, the emotions, losing $30,000 in one day. Do you remember? All these things.
There's a lot more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, all these things happening, the ups and the downs and everything. And then people tend to look at that one last event and you're like, oh, this person is lucky, this person is this person is... And the amount of work and crazy that went into this event to actually materialize is big. So for everybody out there that is building a new brand or something like that, or trying to build a business or passive income, because passive income is a massive word that's been thrown around. There's a lot of work that goes into it. If you are scrolling social media and you see snippet of a snippet of a snippet of the end product of a person, right? So we have to make sure that we do enjoy the journey
No,
and not just, you know,
enjoy the journey,
think
but,
about that one
but
event.
just to add to what you said, if you're building something that is worth anything, it is going to be hard.
100%.
And you have to expect it to be hard, anticipate it, and enjoy it. Because if you don't expect it, anticipate it, or enjoy it, then when things do ultimately or eventually get hard, you're going to look for an out, because you're going to think, oh, you know what, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, everyone would be massively successful, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
So anything worth doing will be hard. And I've now come to enjoy the hard,
Yeah.
because I know that most people won't be willing to navigate through that hard.
The hard.
And the thing is, things are only hard once. They are only hard the first time you do them, until it becomes easy. The first time you launch a meta campaign is hard. First time you launch a product is hard. First time you brand is hard.
Yeah.
But the second time, hold on, you figured it out.
Yeah.
So things, because while you're doing something that's hard, the reason why you sometimes look for an out is because you think it's going to be hard forever.
Yeah.
But it's not.
And you know what? That goes with everything. Like even like what's the word? That goes with everything, including, say, raising your children. It's worth it because it's hard, or it's hard because it's worth it. Whatever.
And just now, as we were talking in the car, again, just to give you my raw thoughts.
Okay. Here we go.
No, because we were talking about something to do with the business,
Yeah.
and it was a bit tense.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was telling myself is that we need to do this because we have to figure this out now, and it's going to be hard the first time we figure it out.
Yeah.
We figure it out, but the next time it won't be.
Yeah.
So because I had, I was fully engaging with the discussion that we were having, because I had the temptation to withdraw.
Yeah.
I had the temptation to withdraw and say, you know what,
Let's not talk about it before the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I knew that, you know what, I need to engage, because if I withdraw, I'm only kicking the can down the road, and it'll always be hard. And the same issue will keep on coming up. So that's why I was asking lots of questions and going into the nitty-gritty, because I wanted us to make progress on this.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll say it again. If something is hard, you need to believe it's hard, because it's like it will make you better. You need to believe that it's hard. This is where the learning happens. Like I tell the kids, if you're doing a question and it's one question after the other and everything is easy, you are not learning anything. Go and find the harder question. Go and find the harder activity or whatever it is and tackle that. All right, let's get back.
Hold on. There's a lot more to unpack.
Okay.
And I think maybe we should keep this episode very high level, and then the next one get into the nitty-gritty.
Nitty-gritty, okay. So I want to understand from the time, I understand actually, I want our audience to know, from the time where we sold, alhamdulillah, it did not affect our lives, immediately. What were you doing afterwards? Now you sold your baby, you don't have a job. What were you doing afterwards?
Okay, because I was anticipating the sale, so I actually started the second brand before the first one had fully exited, or was fully sold. So I started the second brand, so I was working on that, and I remember when the wire landed on that same day, I invested $5,800 into a mentor. And I bought his program on that very same day. Because I wanted to learn from someone else, and And so, yeah, just, I didn't take a single time. Well, actually, I did take a moment to celebrate. I went Umrah, remember?
Yeah.
I went Umrah by myself. Then on the day I came back from Umrah,
We went to Banana Island.
we went to Banana Island.
Yeah.
And I remember just the feeling of strangeness, because I came back from Umrah, and when you come back from Umrah, you're in a certain state, aren't you? You're in a,
And then you go to the beach and everything.
and then that very same day we went to Banana Island.
Yeah. Obviously, the beach there is nothing like any,
Yeah,
some
but
beaches
it was
here.
just a weird feeling,
Back to
back to reality.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember also in that period, there were so many things. You were working on the new brand. You were working on, you started consulting
Yeah,
other brands that
yeah.
wanted to sell. So getting them from 6 to 7 and then be able to sell. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, because I was informally coaching and mentoring from the second year,
Yeah.
or even the first year.
I remember.
Just,
But I think that's who you are, guys. Sometimes I tell Jamal, you're so nice. It's not nice, but you're so forthcoming with all the information with everybody, which is all well and good. Or sometimes, be careful who you advise, because not everybody is ready for that advice, right?
yeah, because I was telling people, about this great opportunity, but
Not
you're
everybody did worked on
Yeah,
it and
yeah,
actually used it.
But I was teaching and mentoring informally for at least 2-3 years before I charged a single penny.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I sold, I got a consulting opportunity for this big Amazon agency, and I was working with all of these big brands, just helping them scale.
Yeah.
From 6 to 7 to multiple 7 figures. And then what happened then?
Crypto. There was time where there was a lot of crypto talk, remember?
Oh yeah.
And then,
Don't get me started with crypto.
but the point, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that we've been doing the consulting. Jamal was doing the consulting. We were doing crypto for a bit. Alhamdulillah, ups and downs as crypto is. But then we realized that this is a market that we cannot control. This is something that we can't control. You can't control the market.
Yeah, of course.
We have to have we need to put together a brand or what is it called? Develop the brand that you were working on more and just crack on with a new brand and, stop the consulting, stop the crypto, just focus on our next thing.
I remember that, because you're right. With crypto, you're subject to the whims of the market.
Mm-hmm.
Bull market, bear market, bloody buy the dip and all that kalam fadi. And we made money, we lost money, and there were times where I had zero motivation to build the business, because I didn't have to do anything to make money with the crypto. I'll just refresh my portfolio.
It goes up.
I'm up. But that only goes on for so long until the music stops, right?
and that it did.
Yeah, and when the music finally did stop, and because you think it's gonna go on forever, right? When it finally did stop, that was the best thing that could have happened, actually, because it led us to conclude rightfully that we need to have something of a way of making money that we control.
Yeah.
As opposed to, relying on where the market is going to go up.
So now you're back in the building stage.
Yeah.
What is the difference between building the first one, where you didn't know what you were doing, you were learning on the job, right? And the second and the third and the fourth one? What did you do different?
And let's end on this note, yeah?
Okay.
So the difference was I knew exactly what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And I built a team from day one. I had a bit more capital, but I knew all of the steps that needed to be done, and I did them straight away.
And building a team was very important.
100%, because it meant that now not everyone has the has the privilege of hiring a team when you're not generating cash flow.
Yeah.
So I get that. So you have to do everything yourself. But by having a team, I was able to just achieve in the first year what took me 3 years to achieve
with the other brand.
Yeah. So and I was a bit more aggressive. My tolerance to risk was a lot higher. So I ordered a much bigger order, and I just went really hard, really quickly.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, it paid off. The growth was just exceptional.
And also you've done it with Amazon, and also you've done it with Shopify and our own brand, our own store.
Yeah.
Which also,
that was the thing with this latest brand. I wanted to prove to myself that I'm not an Amazon one-trick pony, and because D2C Shopify is a lot harder to crack, a lot harder. So many more moving parts with creative testing and traffic and email and conversion rate optimization. I'm like, you know what? I wanna crack this.
Yeah.
And I cracked it, and I went really hard, and it paid off because any success that there was a tailwind effect with Amazon. When our D2C efforts were really taking off, people were buying from us on Amazon as well. So it helped with our Amazon efforts and our Shopify efforts.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of money to figure out the whole ad thing, a lot of money to just test. And I think that's where people kind of give up, because they test it a little bit, they don't see a return, then they stop, and then they call it quits. But with creative testing and launching a brand, you have to buy that data initially through testing. So you're not trying to earn. If you earn or you make money or you generate revenue, it's great, it's a bonus. But really, you're learning, you're buying the data from Meta or Google. This is what works. This is the kind of messaging or the angles that resonate with my audience. This is the audience I'm actually targeting, because you see from the back end who's actually buying your data.
Yeah. And start tweaking your customer avatar accordingly. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one last question. What you said is about, people starting a business, right? What about people who already have businesses, e-commerce businesses, and they want to go to the next level? I know we touched upon so many things within the first brand and what you've done to take it to the next level. Can you summarize what exactly needs to happen? I am making 5 figures now, okay? 5 figures in revenue a month. I want it to become 6 figures.
Yeah, so many ways, but all of them need to be done in no particular order. You need more traffic, so you drive more traffic from as many platforms as possible. Not all platforms will be suited to every brand. Some platforms are more geared towards certain brands. For example, with my brand, TikTok, my audience don't hang out on TikTok. It's a waste of time. It worked for a small bit, but it made better sense to allocate that budget towards Meta.
Yeah.
So more traffic, and that also means more creative testing, more angles, more, just a broader audience. So number one is more traffic, more offers, have bundles, new products, give them something new to buy all the time. Number 3, the post-click experience, convert more of that traffic. So make sure what they see once they click on the link of the ad, that converts a lot more. What was it?
And it's also a completion to the ad, like it's a continuation to the ad, right? So if they click on the ad and the branding is off, the wording is off, all these things can affect the conversion.
There needs to be a congruency from the ad to the landing page, so it's a seamless experience. 100%. And number 3 or number 4 is, I forgot the number, is retention marketing. So once they do buy from you, how do you get them to buy again and again and again and again? I saw one of our sales the other day. There was a customer who spent a few $100s, which isn't unusual.
Yeah.
But sometimes I go through the orders and
We'll read the names.
yeah, the names and the address. I'm like,
Yeah.
but anyway, so this person was in Ohio or somewhere, and I scroll down on his order. It was his 21st order from us. 21st. I'm like, damn. So basically, that's how you get them to. That's how you can go from 6 to 7 by getting those customers that you've already acquired from Meta or elsewhere, get them to buy again and again and again. So
don't think about the first sale, the first sale you make from that person.
Yeah.
Think about the
With our brand, our average order value initially was about $50 something. Our CPA or our CAC was about 45, 46. So after all the expenses of the transaction fees and the cost of goods, we were losing a bit of money or breaking even.
Yeah.
So we definitely needed the lifetime value
to go up.
To kick in for us to make a profit on that acquisition. However, we've changed things a lot since then. Our average order value now is $74, and our CPA slightly dropped to $42. So now we make a profit on the first order, which is good for us because it means we can be very aggressive. And
cash flow.
you have to know these numbers.
Yeah.
And it took us 2 years to get this kind of unit economics right.
Yeah.
Because for a while it was just crazy. But alhamdulillah, we finally figured out the creative targeting, and we boost our AOV by having a bundle and these upsell offers. So there's all these things that need to be done.
that need to be done.
and I think it's good to end here because we're given a glimpse of the tactical stuff.
Yeah.
Which
that happen in the background.
Yeah, because I think people need to know that yes, this is all very motivational, but there are things that need to be done on the back end, the front end.
And there's a science about it.
Yeah,
there's an experimentation, science, all these things.
100%.
So I'm very happy that we're doing this, Jamal. This is, as I said, our first, and inshallah, bi'idhnillah, is not going to be our last, first of many, where we actually show people these technical things for them to actually take, we give them value to the technical level, right? Because most of the podcasts, people talk about high level, work hard, all these things, which is all well and good. Mindset is so important, people, don't get me wrong, but also strategy and techniques and all these things also are very important when you're starting, when you're scaling, and when you're exiting a brand. So thank you guys for listening, and
all right,
we've done it. First one.
All right, thanks guys. Peace.
Thank you. Bye.